Welcome to another PC Sportscards PSA submission reveal. This is Josh with PC Sportscards. Today we have something a little bit fun for you. We have a vintage or pre-modern submission that came back, value 2022.32. Again, sent in early July, just came back. Give or take 2 or 3 months to get this order back. If you haven't seen our videos before, we do reveals on PSA submissions going to and from PSA. We're going to start doing some stuff with BGS as well. We do some hobby news and interesting things going on and give you our feel on using grading, whether it's for collecting, speculating, or investing long-term in sports cards. If you like those kinds of things, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you can get alerts every single time that we go live. So today, we have this value submission. Instead of going through the entire submission, I pulled out 6 cards that I wanted to talk about. They're very popular cards when you talk to your friends my age, 39, 40 years old, when they were growing up, that they would have these cards. Some are a little bit older, some are a little bit newer, but these are cards that almost everybody had as a kid. And I wanted to talk about why it's not as easy to grade them as you think it might be. So, the first one up, we have a Barry Sanders 1989 score rookie card in a PSA 8. There's a lot of these graded, almost 25,000 of them graded, and 11,000 or so are PSA 8. We like to call that the collectible level. When you start getting above the most graded, so the 9s and the 10s, because there's less of them graded, we call those more of your investment level grades, where your upside is going to move a little bit faster. So this card being an 8, it's really nice looking. I understand why the person graded it. I actually have it in my hand right here, right now. We have a camera set up over here if I want to go over some details about the card. But this is just a really nice 8 overall. It's well centered. Some corner wear, nothing crazy. Could definitely be an 8.5. Here, let me flip this camera on. I've never done this before while I did a video, so let me see if I could do it. So we have the camera. Card's going to show up. As you can see, we have some white on that edge and corner. The same with over there. So those little details are what are going to take you away from being a 9 and giving you an 8. You got to be super picky when you send these cards in. And another reason we wanted to show this video is look at the value. $51 is an 8, $130 is a 9, and $1,300 is a 10. To me, this is a card that every single time, no matter what, I'm sending in at the least expensive level. These cards were all sent in at the value level, which was $30. I would have waited to get a cheaper price. We're down to $18 now, so I think that's a great number to send this kind of card in. Next up, we have a 1993 Bowman Derek Jeter, got a 7. Again, only with this one, there's only 8,000 graded. The 9 actually is the most popular grade or most common grade in this card. So, and it's not very expensive, right? You're looking at $60 for a 9. I can understand that you found this in your collection. You, as a kid, you wanted to grade it. It looks pretty nice. If you look very easily, you can see that the centering is off left to right, and the same on the back. And the difference between a 7 and 8 really isn't there. So this is a card that I probably wouldn't have graded. I guess I'd considered it $18, but you could probably sell this for $10 raw. I don't think I would have looked at this and thought maybe it gets a 9. It's an iconic card. If you're grading it to collect, awesome. Protect your cards. Maybe you get lucky, you get a 9 sometimes. But again, another card that no matter what, even if I think this card's a 10, because there's so many more 9s, you only have a 9 or 10, a 12% chance of getting a PSA 10 in this card. Odds are you're getting a 9 or worse. Send this in at $18. If they hit you for upcharge to $30 after the fact, then I definitely would be okay with that because I got my 10. Anything lower than a 10 is going to be the cheapest level possible. So if you're planning on grading that card, I would definitely send it at $18. In reality, not a card that I would send in for grading if I'm looking at a speculative type of move or an investment type of move. For collecting, I see the point of it. This is a good time to bring up one of the other reasons that I wanted to do this video is because with this new bulk level, we're now accepting PSA cards that are 1980 and newer, all in the same level, and cards that are prior to 1980, so 1979 and older, are in the pre-modern or vintage level. Next up, one of my favorite cards. Oops, hit that subscribe button again. Next up, Joe Montana rookie. Now, one of the most iconic football cards from the 80s. Joe Montana, probably one of the top 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks of all time. This card looks pretty nice in the front. You could see, I'll show you on this, you could see on that bottom corner, you can see the fraying there, right? What you can see in the picture, and the reason that I put the picture up of the 9 is in this picture of the 4. Let me see if I could do this. If I could picture the 4 over there, you see all those white dots. Those are print marks and problems with the actual stock, and that's what's causing the low grade in this card. It's actually a really nice 4 if you look at it. I don't see any creases. I don't see any major issues. If you look in the card that's a 9, there's none of those white dots or the print problems. So that's something you have to look at that a novice grader would not notice and would send in and would get a low grade. So when you're looking at these older cards, you have to start looking for things like print defects like that. There's a little black dot on a lot of the 1980 Topps Magic Bird Dr. J rookie cards. Not Dr. J's rookie, obviously. When you look at 1975, which is actually one of the next cards that we have coming up, there's a lot of what they call fish eyes. So there's other printing issues other than centering, corner, and edges when it comes to older cards that you need to be aware of if you're looking to grade them in a way that you're grading them to sell them to make money. Next up, George Brett Mini. This is my favorite set in mini form. The 1975 set is one of the coolest, nicest sets out there. I love it. I actually used to own the entire set, but I graded a few of them to sell to make some money, and I don't have them anymore. This is, again, another card that the odds are you're getting a relatively low grade on this card. An 8 is the most common, 7's not too far behind, and that makes up 1,600 of the 2,700 that are graded. Look how few 9s and 10s there are, and that's because of the print defects that I was talking about before. The other thing, this card is a card that I most likely would never have sent in to get graded in general just because of the centering, and the back centering is as bad or worse on this card. So looking at the best thing you could get is some kind of qualifier, like an OC qualifier on this card, and I hate qualifiers on my cards. Again, this card, seeing the centering, if I'm going to grade it, $18, no question about it. Next up, this is a rule that I think everybody should follow if they have vintage cards in their collection, and it is a very simple one. Grade every mantle you have. PSA 1 mantles are $100+. If you don't know what you're looking for, it's not that big of a deal. If it's got creases and stuff, you don't need to grade it, right? You know what you're going to get. But look, I can almost guarantee you that this 3 looks very similar to 4s and 5s that are out there. I'll turn on the other camera again so you can see again. We're going to look at corners. We're going to look at corners a lot with PSA cards. See how bent and worn that corner is? Same with that one. Same with that one. I don't want to focus now. And same with that one. There's even a little crease on that one. That's why you're getting a 3 on this card, right? You're getting it because of that. There's no creases on the back. If I showed you the back corners, you would notice the difference as well. The centering's not great. It's okay for 1968 Topps, but in general, you could get a 4. You can get lucky and get a 4 on this card, and all of a sudden you get an extra $100. Every mantle is worth grading, in my opinion. I love this card. I love this set. This customer also graded a Nolan Ryan rookie that has a crease in it and has some other issues, really off center, and that got a 2. So to me, this might be an undergraded 3. I love this card. That's pretty much it. Now, the next card up is the card I talk about the most when I talk to people about what they're grading and getting cards graded. This card is probably the lowest percentage PSA 10 on the market. It's very hard to get a 10. The 10 is a 6-figure card. The 9 is a 4-figure card. I think that this card is one of the reasons that grading of vintage stuff has blown up a lot, and it is the Ricky Henderson rookie. The last PSA 10 that sold for $120,000. It's an absolutely crazy number. Obviously, looking at this one, we know we're not getting a 10 on it, right? Look at that centering. I think best case you're looking at an 8 OC. The back is the same. In reality, I think this is a really strong grade for this card due to the centering. I see a little rounding on the bottom corner, which is very obvious when you have the card in your hand. Getting a 7 is lucky on this one. You're going to get $105 out of it. An 8 is $200, and look at the pop. 11,000 8s and 7,000 7s. So 18,000 of 28,000 are graded, are in those grades. Again, $18 to grade. If I get a 9 and I get upcharged, so be it. I'm not paying to get it a little faster at this point. Most of these cards, if you didn't notice, especially when you think you're in the mid to low grades, are $18 to grade cards. If a vintage deal comes out, I would take advantage of that as well. But this is one of those cards that if you get lucky and get the next 10, it is a life-changing card. And I just think that whenever anybody asks me why I grade cards, I talk about the Ricky Henderson rookie and how an 8 is $200 and a 10 is $120,000. So I hope this is a good video for you guys. As always, comment, agree, disagree. Let me know what you think about what we talked about today. If you think that I'm wrong and you should send these cards in to get them back faster, let me know. If you have stuff that you're looking to send in, check out our website, PCSportscards.com, and we're happy to help you with all of your grading needs. Remember, it's not as easy as you think it's going to be to grade those cards. It's a lot more detailed than most people think, and that's what we're here to help you with. So look forward to talking to you and seeing you guys next week.